Hey guys, how's it going? I'm just going to check if it's gone live on Facebook as well. Yep, so I'm live on Facebook and YouTube. For anyone who might know me from Facebook, please try and check out my YouTube and vice versa. For anyone on YouTube, please check out my Facebook channel if you be profile rather. If you'd be so kind. As I said before, I'd love to record these videos on all possible platforms, video sharing platforms, and if you want to. I was going to say copy and paste them. If there's a way you can record these videos like while you watch them, to keep them alive, so to speak, or keep them going for as long as possible, it would be really cool. But I have this strange thing where I have to mention, like, where if I start something, I won't say I want to finish. I was going to say if I start something, I want to finish it. If I write something or I say something or I type something or whatever, any of those things, I kind of want to keep it for good, so to speak, or at least for as long as possible, so I get frustrated if it gets deleted or whatever, even if it's just like a line or whatever. And I think I'm not going to be able to remember it or write it in the same way or whatever. So yeah, I have this strange sort of pattern. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, I think if I write it again, it won't be the same or whatever. Or sometimes I'll forget completely or whatever it might be. Anyway, this is your boy M.K.S. back in another video. Welcome to part 2 of Happy Independence Day belated for Uganda. Happy belated Independence Day for Uganda. And it's just over 1.5 hours later than planned. But anyway, I'm here now, so hopefully these will record as well as possible. But I've got to admit, it's been quite a frustrating day because I was expecting, and I had a plan that I was going to make a video, go and walk to watch the game, the Celtic game. Hope Celtic would win. Hope I'll enjoy the game. I was hoping I would enjoy the game. Have 1 or 2 drinks at the pub, and then I don't drink alcohol, but Coke or whatever. There's or Pepsi or whatever. There's a conspiracy theory that the secret ingredient in Coke or Pepsi is alcohol. But I know I mentioned that a while back, but if that was the case, I imagine people would notice. Like if all these children were drinking Pepsi or Coke and getting drunk or whatever, I imagine people would notice. But that's a conspiracy theory. That's the theory. But hopefully it's not true. As a teetotaler, otherwise I've been living a lie without realizing it. I have to think that when people say I tell a lie, right, and then they correct themselves, it's not really a lie if it's not deliberate, I don't think. But anyway, going off track. But as I say, main thing is Happy Independence Day belated. 10 days later than it was, but better late than never, I guess. But yeah, frustrating day because as I didn't manage to get together. Worst of all, we lost 2-0 to Dundee, which on paper we should be able to beat easily, which is a bit worrying because we're behind. I think we're now 5 points behind, so at least we're ahead of the Rangers, the Rankers as I call them. But it's a strange season. It's been a couple of strange seasons in Scotland because the 2 Glasgow Giants, if you like, have been struggling. Sorry, checking Facebook. Hopefully it's still loading, and hopefully both videos will record as well. But hopefully at least have 1 copy of all these ideas. But anyway, hopefully most importantly, these ideas will work out for the benefit of Uganda. But yeah, it was a side note. Anyway, I just want to say it was a frustrating day because we lost 2-0, and we are 5 points clear. And we got a game in Europe. I don't know why I put Europe in speech marks, but we got a game in Europe. When it comes to football, like Italian teams and Celtic, I say Europe in speech marks. I don't know why. I hope we do well in Europe. But actually, in Celtic's case, I think when Brendan Rodgers returned to Celtic, I was like the first season, I think we should just focus domestically and try and win all we can domestically, hopefully a treble. And second season, I thought the same thing. And then this season, it would probably be a bit different, but because we're struggling domestically and we can't even win our domestic games, I think, again, domestic is another one I put in speech marks for some reason. I think we should go out and I think we should forget about Europe. I think we should play fringe and youth players in Europe. I'll say what I remember. And I think that, and I'm hoping to get some videos done tonight on Celtic, or at least 1 video on Celtic as well. But I meant to upload this at 2 o'clock, so as I say, I was a bit late anyway. But I did go just for a short walk, so I should have a bit more time because I didn't go to the pub because I was not feeling too good. And I didn't want to pass my gems on to other people. Like I could have just gone and hope for the best, but it would be a bit unfair. So I think I'm going to just chill at home and just go for a short day. And also that would give me a chance to focus on my goals and his videos and what, typing up and writing or whatever. But anyway, sorry. It's I hope that we just play fringe players and youth players in Europe and just focus on winning as much as we can domestically, hopefully winning the league. I was hoping we'd win a treble, but it's looking like I'm wrong in Brendan Rodgers' third season. What worries me is someone saying that in his third season it always goes to pot, whatever the saying is. It always goes to you know what. But it happened when he was manager of Leicester as well. I wonder if we should get Ange Postecoglou back, but I suppose if we get rid of Brendan, we probably have to pay him. But anyway, I'm going to crack on and get back to the discussion on Uganda, and I hope these videos benefit Uganda. So here goes. So number 11. I got to admit, I don't know a huge amount about Uganda. I know they were ran by a dictator. It seems like quite an evil guy, I've got to admit. Idi Amin. Apparently he kept his victims' body parts in the fridge and ate them or something. He was a cannibal and warlord and all sorts of crazy things. Complete nutter. And he kicked the Asians out, unfortunately, and they had like 21 days to leave. They thought it was a joke. And they had to leave. And I know it was colonized as well, so I kind of am disappointed that they kicked the Asians out, although I know that he said they didn't integrate or whatever. But hopefully it's a lesson, like if you kick Asians out, what could happen to your country could be similar to what happened to Uganda. I suppose some people are more right-wing would say the same for like Zimbabwe or South Africa, even Zimbabwe and South Africa. But as I'm kind of left, I'd say I'm kind of centre-right. But anyway, I hope that Uganda learns its lessons, which I talked about before. But if you know any facts or anything like that, facts, stats, figures, general info, knowledge, or whatever on Uganda, please share in the comments for me and others to read and find out about. Maybe these videos can inspire you to make your own videos, perhaps more coherently, which is not saying much. But yeah, I'd love to find out more about Uganda, and also for people from Uganda and those from Uganda descent, those who travelled, those who have left the country from the diaspora from Uganda, including Ugandan Asians, and those who are indigenous to Uganda or whatever, who have gone to live in Britain or I was going to say China, maybe China or whatever. Some of them might have gone to China, unlikely, but you never know. Or America or Europe or wherever they may have gone in the world. Basically, the diaspora, to put it simply. Again, whether that's indigenous people, Asians, or even white people who are from the diaspora, who lived in Uganda basically at one point. And I suppose by diaspora, normally I mean people of that descent, so of Ugandan origin. But yeah, those of, I know they could be classed as a diaspora, but yeah, what could Uganda change? What could they learn? What could they learn from China and India? I have to think, what can Asian nations learn from like China and India, how they grew their economies, and hopefully will continue to grow their economies and work together on that kind of thing. But moving on, number 12, I'll say I know that I wouldn't want to support them as much perhaps as Rwanda just because they kicked the Asians out. And I suppose although they were colonized, they probably didn't go through quite as many problems as Rwanda in some ways. Although actually when Idi Amin kicked the Asians out, their economy went really downhill. I mean, lots of Asians are hardworking, good business. I'm not saying that obviously there's not people like that in Uganda. I'm sure some of the people from different backgrounds are like that, not just the Asian ones. But I think when people do get deported, actually, from a nation, I think if Britain deported all the POC or ethnic minorities, or any minorities or ethnic POC, or they deported anyone, especially who's here legally, like they said, oh, we don't want you here anymore. I think that those people should be. I think there should be an international law, whether that's in Germany, Britain, France, Italy, Spain, Portugal, America, or even India, or anywhere in the world. Uganda, anywhere really. I think it should be the same rule internationally, so it's as fair as possible. So if you deport people, they're able to leave with all their wealth and possessions and money and their businesses or whatever. That a nation cannot confiscate those of people if they deport them, or unless they were acquired illegally and or from state benefits or whatever. Other than that, I think they should be able to. So, like if an Asian business person was deported from Britain, unless he broke the law or anything like that, I think he or she should be able. They should be able to take whatever money, possessions, or whatever they have. So hopefully that would affect a nation. If people deport people, I hope there'll be negative consequence. I guess you could say that happened for Uganda. It probably happened to Germany when they treat the Jewish people badly. I guess they went to a war for it and all that kind of thing. And it probably damage their economy even more. Which I suppose if you deport people in such a way, I guess, or treat people in such a way generally, I guess is what you deserve. I think everyone should be treated how they treat other people and even animals and that kind of thing. And on that note, I hope that Uganda will treat each other well and will treat animals well. And maybe each citizen could be taught, especially from a young age, and asked, like, what can you contribute to the country? I suppose it reminds me of, I can't remember who it was, but I think it was an entrepreneur who asked, I'm not sure if it was Andrew Dale Carnegie or something like that, but he asked not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. So maybe all citizens of Uganda, from their point of view, could be asked, what will you do to benefit Uganda as well? And I think it should be a mutual benefit, though. I think if your country treats you bad, you're probably not going to want to contribute to it. Like if minorities feel they're being treated badly in a country, they're probably not going to want to contribute to it. To be honest. But moving on, number 13, I'll say a reason not to support Uganda, if I'm honest, is because of how they treat the Asians and how they kick them out. In spite of the Asians probably not breaking many rules or laws or whatever, generally speaking, as far as I'm aware. But yeah, just because they wouldn't integrate in such a way or follow certain rules or whatever. Maybe Idi Amin thought, I can easily get, as a dictator or whatever, perhaps he thought, I can easily get money from the Asians. And people say that's the same about like what Hitler did in Germany. Like he wanted to get money off Jewish people. He knew they were good business people, so he just thought, if I just get rid of them, I can keep their money. I don't know if that's true or not, but I think my old friend Sam was saying that, and he's Jewish, and he was saying that that's what he believed, like why Hitler did that, and he even said in it, I'm sure he'd say he's evil, obviously, but he said he was clever in how he manipulated. Although when I look back at the old speeches of Hitler, I think, like, how did anyone take that seriously? Like just shouting and pointing and whatever. But anyway, apparently that's what works instead of being quiet and calm. I guess. No. Anyway, but yeah, so the way they treated Asians is probably a reason not to support them, I guess. But moving on, number 14. However, because they were colonized, I think there are good reasons to support them. And again, hopefully they'll learn their lessons and like say, let's see how we can bring everyone together, everyone who lives in Uganda, and see how we can contribute to each other and be nice to our neighbours. As the saying goes, everyone needs good neighbours. I'm not into soaps, but I know it's quite a catchy ringtone and tune, sorry. And I think it kind of is quite fitting, which is everyone does need good neighbours. As I say on the show Neighbours, again, I don't really watch soaps, but yeah, everyone needs good neighbours. I agree with that, to be fair. I agree with the message, to be fair. I don't know who came up with that, but I do think that is true. Like, as I say, many hands make light work and that kind of thing. But yeah, I hope they'll work together to solve problems, support STEM for Uganda. I think there were some programs where they brought, projects or whatever, where they brought people from who were deported in the past, and they brought them back to see the country and its development, and they sort of invited them back. So yeah, I hope they'll learn their lessons from the past generally as well. Every nation should, I guess. But moving on, number 15, I'd love to learn about any facts, stats, figures, general info, knowledge, and whatnot about Uganda. Good, bad, and ugly. Ugly, bad, and good. So that's last. And I hope videos like this do support Uganda. I still think that it would be good to support Uganda because of the fact that they were colonized, I think, by the Brits and whatnot, and probably had to fight for their independence and that kind of thing. So, especially each year on their Independence Day, like supporting Ugandan businesses, I think would be a cool thing, which is the 9th of October each year. So, next year, I dream to fundraise for and just generally support Uganda as much as possible. Number 16, I'd love for there to be committees, think tanks, brainstorms, networks, cooperatives, or whatever, to benefit the country, Uganda in this case, obviously. Number 17, I wonder what they can create together. Number 18, I hope people from Uganda, those with an interest in supporting Uganda, and those with an interest in Ugandan history and things like that, and learning about Uganda, will share information in these videos in the comments, but also share these videos, get involved in the discussion, and I appreciate your likes and all that kind of thing, if you'd be so kind. Obviously it's your option, but your choice, but I'd love to have likes and whatever, if I'm honest. Number 19, I wonder if they could work together in robotics, STEM, programming, all those sorts of things. And number 20, also in STEM more generally, for women, men, boys, girls, and the rest of society just working together and sharing information about their nation and inviting investment and that kind of thing, and looking how they can build together